Hi guys, it's Cheyenne, or Shy, but today I wanted to do, I guess, kind of a different video. I always tell stories, like I just always do. So I had a bunch of requests from people to do a story time video, and I thought, well, why not do it on one of the most traumatic events in my whole entire life? So this should be like a very emotional story, but it's not going to be because I'm a really fucked up person. So here we go. It's story time of how my motherfucking house burned down. So let's go. So it was back at it was only 3 years ago, right? It was like 3 years ago. And it was the same location that I'm in now, but we had to rebuild it. So obviously it's rebuilt now, but when it was like the old house, it was like filled with toys and like it's just, it had all our fucking stuff in it. But this was like a time in my life where I had all this shit. Like, I'm gonna tell you who was in the house, by the way. Who lived in my house was my mom, my dad, my brother, my hedgehog named Bubby, which we'll get into in a little bit because god damn, that pisses me off, and then my dog T-Bone and my dog Butterbean. So what happened is my fucking dryer malfunctioned, and this dryer was only like 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, which for a dryer, that's like a newborn fucking baby. Like, it's a young dryer, like it's a new dryer. And keep in mind the brand, I'm not gonna expose, actually I'll expose them, it's GE. The brand that burned my house down, I'm actually using the branded camera now because it's cheaper. But like, it was really new and it malfunctioned and was like a piece of it or whatever. Technological stuff of what happened, but that's basically what happened. So it burned all the way to the ground because we weren't really home when it happened. I was at school, my brother was at school, my mom and my dog T-Bone were at PetSmart, and my dad was at work. Now my grandma lives like a block away, and my hedgehog and my dog Butterbean were still in the house as it happened. So someone actually, I don't know if I should say his name. His name was really weird, so let's change the name to we'll change it to Julio. His name sounded like Julio, so we'll just change it to Julio. So Julio was a next door neighbor, and well, like kind of a next door neighbor. He lived like 3 houses down. He broke into the fucking back window looking for us, and found my dog Butterbean. So she shit all over him, like liquid diarrhea, because she was scared as death. He was scared as fuck. Liquid diarrhea all over Julio's shirt. And after Butterbean shit all over him, he walked out. Like, even if we were in the house, he walked out because the dog shit on him. So the dog took a crap on him, and the dog took a crap on him, and he came out of the house, and he went back and obviously was like keeping the dog in his house, like keeping Butterbean safe. And I still have Butterbean, I still have T-Bone, I still have both the dogs. And we also had fish, but that's like fish, like obviously they drowned. So they drowned in the fire. So what if the fire, conspiracy theory, what if the fire boiled the water and they died because of the boiled water? That would have sucked ass, man. What if you're just swimming, waiting for your food, and all of a sudden you're just like, it's getting a little hot. It's like a hot tub or something. Ow! It's getting a little too hot. I'm going to hell. But so the dog was saved by Julio, and Julio was a nice guy. We still continued talking to Julio after the house burned down and all that. But anyways, More on Julio later. But there we had a hedgehog. This hedgehog, let me get into the hedgehog. Hold on. Yeah, so this hedgehog's name was Bubby. Okay, Bubby instead of Buddy. But like, how fucking cute is that? And I didn't want to name him Sonic, and I didn't want to name him anything like that because everyone already names their hedgehog that. So this motherfucking hedgehog was the cutest fucking hedgehog I've ever had in my life. He never was rude. He always played around. He was a good ass hedgehog, man. I miss that dude. And he smelled the carbon monoxide poisoning and like died on like instant once the gas hit him because he was a baby hedgehog. So he died obviously, and the fireman literally would not let me see the hedgehog. I was like, dude, what? And he was like, you don't want to see it, trust me. I already threw it away. I was like, okay. But so that was like heartbreaking to me. I was literally so fucking mad. So I go, and the first time I figured this out, so my grandma was on the phone. My grandma's a really, like, I love her. I love you if you're watching. She's a very extra person. So my mom was at PetSmart with my dog, right? And then all of a sudden we get a phone call, or I wasn't with her, but she gets a phone call, and she explained it to me like this. She was like, Shannon! Shannon, get the fuck over here right now! Your house is on fire! And my mom goes, what? Our house is what? And she goes, your house is on fire! And so we go back, and my mom shows up, and there's like 6 paramedic cars thinking that we're in the house, and like 7 fire trucks, and they're all spraying like their nut load of water all over the house. And oh my god. And we're like just waiting for this to go down. Literally, we're just sitting there like, is it out yet? Like, it's so long to take this huge ass fire out. So while this is going on, my mom is literally on her phone Googling, is there a lot of house fires with GE products? And it's just fun. Actually, I think I'm gonna name this GE Burn My House Down, so if they see it, they're like, take it down right now, we're calling Yelp, and like have the fucking review up there. But anyway, I was pretty pissed about it. Like, we didn't buy products for them for like fucking years. Like, I shouldn't have even bought the camera. If my mom finds out my camera's GE, she's gonna be like, you betrayed me. But we we had the house, like, we had them come like kind of slow, to be honest. Like, we were all sitting there for like at least 30 minutes before they actually arrived. And I mean, my mom actually found out that there was like microwaves that burned down from GE products, and like just regular like light bulbs that was like bursting and like exploding on people's head when they were walking by them. Like, there was a lot of products with GE that were new and old that were just blowing up, not just dryers. There was a lot of dryer malfunctions anyway. GE did not take the product down, by the way. You can still buy that kind of dryer out, like, on the market today, so careful. But so after my grandma's come in, and my grandma's literally next to us, like, she comes up, she's shaking, she's like, the house is on fire. And we're all just standing there like, yeah, the house is on fire, like, what do you want us to do, roast some hot dogs or what? Like, we were just sitting there, and she's like freaking out. And then my mom comes to pick me and my brother up, and literally legit, I'm sitting, and they bring us in the counseling office. And at this time, this counselor, I had beef with this counselor. Like, I had some issues with this counselor. And I'm not gonna name her. I'm not gonna disclose her name or nothing, but Miss Cereal. We'll call her Miss Cereal. She did not like me. So she was just kind of, I think her intentions were, I don't fucking know, okay? I can't read minds, but let's just say I had some issues. So, she brings me in the counseling office, and she legit sits over to me, and she used to tell me to buy, like, a new wardrobe. Like, she would be like, you need to get a new wardrobe, you need to get new clothes, like, you need to change your outfit and all this. She slides me, like, literally, I'm in here crying and freaking out because my house just burned down. I just found out, and I literally, the first time I sat down, I said, "Are you joking with me?" That's literally the first thing I said, and they were like, "No, why would we joke about this?" So, she literally slides me, like it's like a poker card. She slides me a Payless gift card. Like a $15 Payless gift card. You want me to buy a new pair of fucking shoes after my house burnt? Like, what the fuck? And then she goes, luckily all your school stuff is here. So you don't even need to redo any of it. I wasn't gonna redo that shit anyway. But, anyways. So, you know, I'm getting gift cards from people. People are being nicer to me or whatever. Right now, I'm just shook as fuck. And I was like, I miss all my stuff. My insurance is great, but they did not give me all my toys back. Because, you know, GE, we lost the settlement, so we did not get as much money as we deserved or needed. But, we legit are freaking out. I go back to the house, we're scavenging for shit. We don't have a home for like 2 days, but we go to my grandparents, and we're caging up the dogs because they're freaking out. Legit, anytime a fire alarm goes off, like when the batteries go off in a fire alarm, if Butterbean is there, she will start crying. Like, she sounds like a human girl getting beat the fuck up. She's literally like, ah, ah, ah! Like, she gets freaked out. It's literally the saddest thing. So, anyways, we're all safe. We're all staying at my grandparents' house, and it's hectic as fuck. We're literally staying in my grandparents' house for like almost a year, like a good 6 months in that house, a good half a year. And I'm, you know, it's okay, it's fine. And I'm so upset over it all, but it's fine. And all of a sudden, Julio shows up, and my grandma is super, super proud of Julio, right? She legit is, and she's like a person who's obsessed with celebrities, anything. Like, when I told her I was gonna use a camera to film this, she was like, she loves Hollywood shit, anything like that. So, Julio shows up, and of course she took him out to dinner because, you know, save the dog. Hero of the day, save the dog, all this, and, you know, bought him a new shirt, I think, because, you know, she shit on it. To clarify, my dog, not my grandma. And, we have, like, just an array of fucking stuff that people have brought over. And he keeps bringing his girlfriends. He keeps changing out his girlfriend every week, and he brings them every time. And he's talking about how he square dances, and he's from the islands and all this, and he just seemed like a really cool guy, right? Very mysterious. So we, you know, kind of invite Julio in our home, and this guy, he was super nice. We had a pack of Coke, like a 12-pack of Coke, and we had to keep buying them because he would drink the whole pack in like a day. But he ended up, like, doing yard work for us. He did a lot for us, so he was a nice guy. And Julio actually moved back to the islands, but before then, my grandma called up the news station, the local news station, and was like, we have this guy here, and he's just the hero, you know, our house burned down, and we just want publicity. I mean, we just want to show you this, like, new guy who's just saved this dog, and it's just a heartbreaking story. So the news people are like, great, we'll come down. I was asleep when the news station showed up, so I had my pants on backwards. There is a video of me on like 5 news stations with my Pink Panther pajama pants on backwards. of me standing outside in my house that's literally burned to the ground. And we all thought that they were going to take a picture of us, so we all were like standing there smiling, and it was a video, and it's a fucking train wreck, and like all these interviews. And so it's like a
Because your house burnt down.
it's because my house burnt down, dude. You really got it there. But it just sucked. And Julio goes on and he's like explaining how he went around the house and got the dog and all this, broke the window to get the dog and all this stuff. And 2 days later, we keep calling Julio to see, you know, I mean, we know this guy pretty well, so we're like, well, where are you, Julio? And he's not answering us. And then he comes back like a week later and we go, where the fuck were you? He goes, I was in jail. And I was like, I'm sorry, you were in jail? Turns out my grandma had him put on TV when he had a warrant out for his arrest. So they identified who he was, and it was just like an expired ticket or something. And he had like a few days in jail, and then he came back out. So we kept seeing him, and we were like, cool, whatever. But it was the funniest thing because he was like, well, I didn't really want to do the interview anyway. My grandma really did push him into it. He was like, I don't really want to do it, but she had him do it because she was like, oh, you're such a good guy, you're such a good hero. So, you know, and that was the funniest thing. We still talked to him afterwards. We thought it was funny. My family is like a shit wreck, so we thought it was funny instead of concerning. And he moved back to the islands, and all this shit was getting rebuilt, right? So we keep calling up and the home building company and is like, are you guys done yet? It's been like a year now. Like, fast forward to a year, we're like, it's been a year. We're in a rent house right now. And we're like, when is it going to be done? And they're like, oh, going to be done in a week. So we pack all our shit. We get out of the rent house. We literally, by the way, forgot this part. Like a week or two before we moved, no, more like 2 weeks before we moved, we found out there was black mold investing in our air vents in the rent house from when the past owners had it. And so I got like thyroid diseases from the black mold and all this shit. So shout out to you, black molds. I want to say hit me up. But yeah, so it was like a train wreck with that too. Like, everything is just like colliding into each other with the black mold. And then the rent house, we leave 2 weeks later after we realized, like, we had people come in hazard suits. It was growing everywhere. And they still couldn't get it out. So they were like, while you're in the black mold, the house is almost done building. Like, the house is almost done anyway. You have like a week before it's done. Stay in a hotel. So it's still school year, by the way. I'm still having to go to school in this hotel. So I'm staying in a hotel for like a week. And my whole family is there. And so then they say, oh, the house is done. Come on in. So we have all our bags, we all have our shit. We go to the house. It's not done. We signed out of the hotel. We don't have the rent house. We were in my grandparents for like 6 months. And the house isn't, they literally were like, yeah, the house is done, dude. Like, just come on in. Like, come on in, enjoy it, relax. We came in, it's not even furnished yet. Like, there's not even a couch. And so we go back and we're like, where are we supposed to go? Insurance pays for another hotel. And it takes another 3 months before my house is actually built. So I am literally jumping hotels. Like, it's like a bar hop. Like, I'm just in different hotels every single week for like 3 months. And summer finally hits. I literally had 1 week to myself in those hotels because school was so hectic. And so we finally move into the house, and to this day we are still finding cracks from when it was built. Like, we're finding things that are just fucked up everywhere in the house. So they didn't even do a good job rebuilding it. We lost the lawsuit against them. We didn't get as much money as we needed because their lawyers are really fucking good because they have this happen to them a lot. Julio moved back to the fucking island, so he's not gonna save a dog if this happens again. My own dog has post-traumatic stress disorder. And all this shit was happening, but honestly, I have good ass memories from that rent house. Like, when I was still in the rent house, my next door neighbor was this little kid, and he had like a water gun, like a squirty gun or whatever, and it was like winter, and he kept spraying it at me and my friend. And I was like, yo, you need to chill. Like, I'm just trying to stay outside. And he goes, if you don't stop that, I'm going to get my dad to piss on you guys. And that's all. He was threatening that he was going to call the cops and piss on us. And I was like, that sounds reasonable. And so we went back inside. But I just wanted to point that out there, that if that kid who was telling me that he was going to piss on me is watching this in the future, you're fucking weird. Like, you're really fucking weird. And your dad's weird, too. Your dad just went out there and said he was gonna get a gun. Like, I'm sorry, but your whole family's weird. And I don't know why I had to throw that in, but I just did. So, yeah. So, I am not impressed with the house, honestly. But that's okay. It's still a cute house. It's a cute house. It's just, with all that we went through, we thought we were gonna get a lot more money. We didn't. So, I'm gonna lost a goddamn hedgehog.
You can edit this part out, but don't leave out how sensitive you were to everything, like in school. Literally, if you even heard the word fire, you could be breaking down, like,
Oh,
in
true.
the counselor's office.
Yeah, that's true. Like, literally, they would just be like hot, and I'd be like, because I was so fucking sad about this hedgehog. Literally, that was the main thing.
Yeah, it
was my fucking hedgehog. I was so fucking sad. And literally everyone was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just, like, my counselor legit goes, it was just a hedgehog, dude. And I was like, bitch, you're the worst counselor I've ever had in my life. Don't ever talk to me again. Like, I was so sensitive. Like, legit, I would sit there and I would be like, just sitting in class, and all of a sudden the book would go, it was hot like fire. Chili peppers or something, and I'd be like, oh my god, I just don't understand why you guys have to bring it up all the time. Like, I told you guys I don't want to hear about it. And yeah, so I was really upset about the fucking hedgehog, because this was a cute ass hedgehog, dude. Like, literally, like, if you gave him a ball, he would roll it around, and his tiny ass little, like, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. But Rip Bubby, 2013, 2014, rip him, and rip my fucking fish that were actually named after my family. But yeah, and so of course, like, it was depressing because I had all these memories in it, but it makes for really good jokes now. Yeah. So that's my story time of how my fucking house burned to the fucking ground by a dryer. Yeah. So anyways, if you want more story times, give me a thumbs up so I know. If you would like to subscribe, that would be amazing. And if you just want any other videos, just request them down below, or you can Snapchat me, or DM me, or even tweet me which ones you want, and I'll have all of my social media down below or on the screen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and sorry that story is really fucked up, but I don't know what other story time I would want to do besides that one first. So yeah. Okay, love you.